Greetings. Today I would like to discuss with you about a major topic of international relations. It has to do with Cyprus, the Republic of Cyprus, which has been occupied by Turkey. Part of it, the northern part of Cyprus, has been occupied by Turkey since 1974. So recently we had some major developments on the island, which I think the global community needs to be aware of. So let's see what has been going on the island. Hello, my name is Stavros Kalenderidis. I'm a Greek professor of international relations. I teach international relations, politics, globalization, etc. And today our topic has to do with Cyprus. As you know, Cyprus is an independent country. It's a member of the European Union. And since 1974, unfortunately, it has been occupied by the Turks, by Turkey. Turkey has they have illegally invaded the country 2 times in 1974. And since then, they're an occupying force in the northern part of the island, which has been an act that Turkey has been condemned for by the Security Council of the United Nations, and basically every country on the world has been condemning Turkey ever since, and they have been calling them to get their troops out of the country, their occupying forces, and not only that, but Turkey has actually decided to declare this puppet state as an actual country, the northern part of Cyprus, which is occupied by the Turkish army. And this also has been condemned by everybody and by the UN Security Council as well. The UN Security Council has been declaring their condemnations, and they have been saying to Turkey, stop, not only stop, recognizing this puppet state as a country, but also you should stop the illegal invasion and get your troops out of there. Up until this very day, Turkey has almost 40,000 troops in the occupying part of the country. Not only that, they have been bringing immigrants in the country, mainly Turks, but not only, to create an ethnic cleansing or create an ethnic demographic and instigate demographic engineering on the northern part of the country, which was mainly inhabited by the local people. The local people are Greeks. Some of them are the majority are Christians. Some of them were Muslim. And Turkey is basically demographically engineering the northern part of the island with immigrants, and they have been Turkifying the northern part of the island, which is again illegal by international law. So what happened Friday, the 18th of August, is today's topic. The Turks basically as I explained, they have occupied the northern part of the country, and they have a puppet regime there, which is basically acting on behalf of Ankara, the Turks. They're the ones running the show. So they have decided to invade. This is the third invasion, mind you, after the 1974 two invasions that happened back then. They decided to invade the buffer zone, which is a zone that belongs to the free part of Cyprus, the part that belongs to the government of Cyprus. They decided to invade that zone, and in that zone, there's only UN peacekeepers. So the government of Cyprus has created this buffer zone, which belongs to the government of Cyprus, actually, but they established this buffer zone to stop any hostilities or what may happen between the Turks, the occupying forces, and the actual citizens of Cyprus. So they created this buffer zone, and they invited the UN peacekeepers to act as intermediaries, to be in that buffer zone to protect everybody involved. So what the Turks have been doing, and they did that on Friday, the 18th of August, they decided to build a road inside this buffer zone, which belongs to the Republic of Cyprus, which was another invasion. And they decided to do that with bulldozers and trucks and policemen and armed gunmen, like paramilitaries, and also some military forces as well. Mind you, these are Turks, and they tried to do that by force. They tried to create a road. They made up this narrative that we have some people in the free zone of the village of Pila, and we want to link up this free village of Pila with the occupied village of Arsos. We want to link up these two villages, and to do that, we to help people so they can move freely. Even though the UN has not sanctioned any such action, the Cypriot government did not sanction any such action. There was no decision. They started, they said that we should take things on our own hands, and they sent bulldozers, as I said, and trucks and gunmen and military to do that. So as things would happen, obviously the UN peacekeepers, they decided to stop them, and the Turks didn't want any of that, because they're actually trying to create this new status quo, to present this new status quo, and to raise claims about this territory that it belongs to them. And they are actually following up with their third invasion plan. They disregarded the UN peacekeepers. They threatened them. They told them that we will shoot at you if you don't leave the area. The UN peacekeeping forces said, but this is our mandate to protect this area. So the Turkish forces assaulted, and they hit and assaulted the UN peacekeepers, because the UN peacekeepers did not let them build this illegal road. Let's see what happened, the actual video, and we will discuss about what it means and what the rest of the global community should be doing, and how we should be reacting to that illegal invasion.
Great! Oh my God!
So as you saw in the video, this was a brutal assault, a brutal attack against the UN peacekeepers. And this was actually, this was the video. We have this video from some British UN peacekeepers, but there were many others targeted. At least 10 people had to be hospitalized after this incident. As you saw in the video, the UN peacekeepers were not threatening the Turks. These people were not. You may think that that was a mob assaulting the UN peacekeepers. They were not. They were actually members of the Turkish special forces, members of the Turkish army that they operate. Again, the Turks have a 40,000 soldiers as the occupying force of the island. And they assaulted the UN peacekeepers. The UN peacekeepers did not pose any threat. They were raising their hands by saying, we don't want to, fight with you. We're peacekeepers. We're not here to fight anybody. Do not assault us. But they were punching them. They were hitting them. People had broken noses. One person, he was throwing up blood. He was thrown down in the middle of the dirt, and he was being kicked by the Turks. In other instances, this is a blatant violation of international law, and this constitutes a war crime, actually. I wanted to discuss about that specific issue because this is unacceptable. Assaulting a UN peacekeeping force, which is there to ensure that people, that kids, that non-militants, non-combatants, anybody is safe, and they are trying to make sure that everybody gets to live their life peacefully. This is not only a blatant violation of international law, this constitutes a war crime according to international law. And I'm going to go through that in a minute. We need to know what happened because we need to stop this from happening again in the future. Actually, many countries condemned the attack. The UN Security Council condemned the attack. Unequivocally, they said that this is inexcusable. This is, this should not be happening anywhere. Targeting the peacekeepers, these are the people that are there to ensure that everybody is safe. So this is a war crime, and let's see why that is the case. So first and foremost, we will be going through the. Let me show you right here. This is the United Nations website, and this is the Office on Genocide Prevention and the Responsibility to Protect. And there's a clear definition here regarding what a war crime is and what constitutes a war crime. This is according to the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. The Rome Statute is the statute that established the International Criminal Court. This court is it's based in The Hague. That's in the Netherlands. This is different than the International Court. It deals with similar stuff, but this International Criminal Court deals with basically individuals that commit international crimes and war crimes, genocide, crimes against humanity, etc. So let's see this specific instance about war crimes, the article number 8 of the Rome Statute. Let's see. This is the subsection 2b, and we read right here what constitutes a war crime. It clearly states that intentionally directing attacks against personnel, installations, material, units, or vehicles involved in a humanitarian assistance or peacekeeping mission in accordance with the chapter of the United Nations, as long as they're entitled to the protection given to civilians or civilian objects under the international law of armed conflict. So basically, according to international law and to the Rome Statute, UN peacekeepers are considered to be non-combatants because they are not. They're not there to fight. They're there to make sure that nobody's fighting. So they're treated as civilians. That's why assaulting them constitutes a war crime. Clearly, as the light of day, you can see here, this is a war crime. Not only that, in addition, furthermore, actually, we have another piece of document, and let me show you that. This document as well. This is the Draft Code of Crimes Against the Peace and Security of Mankind, which has been adopted in 1996. And this is interesting because this talks about, as stated, crimes against the peace and security of mankind. And as you can see right here in article number 19, titled Crimes Against United Nations and Associated Personnel, anything, as we can see here, violent attack upon the official premises, the private accommodation, or the means of transportation, whatever, the people, murder, kidnapping, or other attacks upon the person or liberty of any such personnel is a crime against the peace and security of mankind. This is really big crimes committed by the Turkish occupying forces in Cyprus, in northern. It was actually in the free part of Cyprus, but the occupying forces are in the northern part of the island. But they invaded basically the free part, the unoccupied, the Republic of Cyprus. So what we should be doing here, and it's clear, I think, we should be letting our governments, our politicians, our members of parliament, our senators, our congressmen and congresswomen, they should be aware, they should know about this, about what's happening, and they should be aware that this constitutes a war crime. And we should be, our countries, Greece, Cyprus, other countries that they're fighters for peace, liberty, democracy, human rights, and the rule of law globally. We should be actually bringing the Turks, because the Turks were behind this attack. Again, this is a puppet regime. It's not a state; it's a regime. This is a puppet regime, so the Turks were behind it. So we need to be bringing the Turks to the International Criminal Court, again based on the Rome Statute, and making everything necessary to keep responsible, to find out who's responsible, and holding them responsible is very, very imperative to secure international law and freedom and peace in the region. We need to be holding these people responsible, finding out who were the ones calling out the shots and perpetrating this crime, and they should be persecuted. This is imperative, and this is the message of this video. I did mention that there were British people that we got this video from, that they were being assaulted, but they were not the only ones being attacked. Just to recap, the members of the United Nations peacekeeping force in Cyprus, they belong to many different countries. Many different countries have been, supporting peace in the island. So right now, this peacekeeping force, it comprises contingents from Argentina, Australia, Austria, Bosnia, Brazil, Canada, Croatia, El Salvador, Ghana, Hungary, India, Ireland, Italy, Montenegro, the Netherlands, Peru, Serbia, Slovakia, Russia, the UK, as mentioned, and also Ukraine. So they have been targeted by the Turks. They should be held accountable, the people orchestrating and perpetrating these attacks, and they should be referred and persecuted by the International Criminal Court. Thank you very much. If you like this video, press the like button, and if you'd like to share this, again, with friends, with your friends, but also with your politicians, with parliamentarians and senators. This would be very helpful to raise awareness about something that should never happen anywhere across the world. Thank you.